It's good to see you, Mr. Cluis.
Good to see you too. How you been?
I'm doing pretty well. How about
That's just
yourself?
fine.
As you know, this is the final round of interviews. It's between you and another candidate. So I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
First of all, you know this is a news company. We're doing a lot of broadcasting.
Correct.
Okay. In this company, you are probably going to be in front of the camera at some points. Are you comfortable with that?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. It goes along with my personality type, the guardian, if you will. I have no problem getting in front of people and telling them how it is, or, you know, anything of that nature. I
was actually about to bring that up. In the initial interview, we had you do a personality profile, and you came up as ESTJ, which is the guardian.
Correct.
It shows you're an extrovert, and that you are likely to follow the rules. You're very, very...
black and white.
Yes. You're very stuck in your morals. How do you think that would work in this company? Do you think that would fit in, or?
Well, I definitely think it would fit in this situation. Knowing when to get things done, how to get things done, very time management oriented. Not trying to have a lot of fluff in there. And if something happens, you know, either take responsibility for it or say, hey, that guy right there, slacker.
Okay, so you would take responsibility for yourself.
Absolutely.
So you see yourself as a self-starter.
Yes.
Okay. You said about time management. Can you give me an example of your time management skills?
Well, as you know, running a TV station, everything happens at a particular time. And if it doesn't, you know, someone's getting chewed out either from higher up and then it comes down to us. Being task-oriented and knowing when things are coming next is very important, though.
You seem like a very outspoken individual.
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel like that would work in this company? As you know, we are a very social company. We like to have a good public image. But, you know, we also like to have some fun during company parties and such. Do you think you can have a good time and socialize without going too far?
Absolutely. If anything I learned from being in a fraternity, it's know how to represent yourself in the masses. I'd have no problem going out and doing PR work for the company, you know, doing live feeds in the van or like whatever we use here. Definitely know how to keep myself contained.
Can you give me an example of what you do when you're hanging out with your friends?
So, with me and my homeboys hang out, basically, there's multiple things we do. We go outdoors and do things. We party like it's 1892. We go yell at basketball games, or football games, or baseball games, or basically any function we can yell at. And I yell whenever I want to. But basically, we, you know, it's just a good time. We're all extroverts for the most part. I mean, we're not afraid to go, you know, start our own party or go crash someone else's party and just become the life of the party. So we like being those guys the next day at the upstairs dining hall. Hey, look, it's those guys from that party last night. That's right, that was us. That was us, totes. Oh, tell him that? I mean, he looks like a pretty straight shooter. I mean, those pants are, that green jacket, I don't know what's up with that, but I mean, like, he looks like he knows how to rage face, you know, 80-year-old style. So I'd totes tell him that. I'd invite him out for the boys for wing night, maybe TGI Fridays. You know, the huge. And we got a DQ now, so we might burn that down. Watch out, Silva. Your external boys are coming out. Oh, you're extra. We do know how to have a good time within reason.
All right, well, that's all for right now. Thank you for coming in. And,
well, appreciate you very much.
Back from us.
I appreciate it.
While you're out there, could you tell Miss Albury to come in, please?
Oh, I can.
How you doing? It's nice to meet you. Please sit down. As you know, this is our final round of interviews.
Yes.
You've had two before.
Yes.
And you are up against one other candidate, the one who just left this room.
Okay.
So, let's get started.
All right.
Now, you said you are comfortable in front of a camera?
Yes.
Okay. Can you give me an example of a time that you were in front of a camera?
Yes. We had to film a documentary for one of my classes, and I was the one chosen to be in front of the camera. So.
I know one of the things that you guys went over was your personality profiles.
Yes.
And as you know, we had you take a personality profile in your first round of interviews. And you came out as INTJ, which is the scientist.
Yes.
So it also shows that you're an introvert.
Yes.
So how are you in social situations? Because we are a very social company.
So with my social groups, since we're all pretty much introverts, we sit in a room, play video games, sit on our laptops, and read. And sometimes scream at our screens all of the screens, TV, laptop, phone, yeah. Or scream at books, or at whatever we're doing at the time. No, I'm not gonna tell him that, because he would think that I'm really freaking weird, because all I do is just hide away in my room. I would say that I'm not exactly more socially oriented, but I'm very oriented as far as getting the job done. I'm good around people. I've had a lot of one-on-one experience and working with the public experience, but I definitely focus more on getting the job done.
So you can be around people, but you just want to get the job done.
Yes.
And you can be social when you need to be.
Yes.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It was great meeting you, and we will be in touch.
All right, thanks.
See, I'm the boss, but I'm also an extrovert. So I kind of feel both these people. I mean, don't tell them, but I'm a Western alum too. And I didn't actually work with Don Kahn, but I've heard rumors about him when I was at Western. The dude's kind of crazy, but in a good way. I hear he really likes to push his students, so I'm willing to see what these two got. I don't know about what they do in their off time, but I have a feeling that the guy gets crazy and the girl knows how to have a good time.
So, I'm Becca, and I'm the senior sales rep here, and I wanted to hire Whitley and Zach because Whitley's an introvert, and that's useful because she is really task-oriented, and I'm an extrovert, and Zach's an extrovert, and I know that that's useful in sales, to talk to people. I went to college with them at Western Carolina. We had Don Connolly, who's a great professor, Don Connolly, and so I know that they both have really a lot to offer for the company, and that's why I chose them.
So, the reason I did all this, there's 16 personality types. 8 extrovert, 8 introvert. The introverts are the duty filler, or the mechanic, the nurturer, the artist, the protector, the idealist, the scientist, and the thinker. Now, those are a lot of introverts. The introvert we have right now is the scientist, and I wish I could hear her interview. But then we have the extroverts. We have the doer, the guardian, the performer, the caregiver, the inspirer, that's me, the giver, the visionary, and the executive. Now, I have these personality tests done so that I can get a gauge on how people are going to fit in the office. You know, I can figure out how they're going to work with other people, and it really gives an idea about themselves. Like, for instance, when I read my personality profile, the Inspirer, a lot of stuff from my past kind of started to make sense. And that's what I want to do for my people, for my workers, have their lives make sense. I am the Inspire, which means I motivate others, and I can really get stuff rolling. I'm also terrible at keeping myself motivated for certain tasks. If I don't enjoy it, I'm going to be terrible at staying focused. Something interesting that I learned was, even though I am an extrovert, I need to go and spend time by myself to keep myself centered and make sure I know and stay focused on who I am as a person. That's one of my biggest fears, is losing myself. And when I was actually reading, it said that I could talk myself in or out of any situation, and for the most part that's true. But it also said that, you know, if people get carried away that are the inspirers, they can go rogue and be amazing liars. I also have a high social performance skill, which means that I can be able to read people's personalities and lifestyles pretty easily upon first meeting them, within the first few moments. This gives me a good way of networking and a strong way of getting to know people to start conversations immediately.
Some drawbacks to being a guardian like myself. First off, if I get really stressed, I isolate myself, which means you don't really see a lot of me. I start to think that people judge me a lot, or that I'm just not worth what I normally am, or actually is. It says that I'm going to be, I like to vote. This is true. I might join a PTA meeting. I might go to the homeowner association meetings. Who knows? But I can't promise you this. You give me a job, I'm going to do it. You tell me to go take care of someone, I'm going to do it. I'm like a hitman, just without a gun. Or I could be a hitman with a gun. You never know. Deuces.
Alright, so I'm an INTJ, which is the scientist. We are focused more on getting the details done. We're more focused on observing and generating ideas and possibilities. And we're essentially Vulcans. We need systems and organizational patterns, yeah, I'm an introvert. I don't talk. But apparently I make a good leader, but only whenever I see a need for a leader to rise. Yeah, INTJs, we spend a lot of time in our own minds, so I'm the type that's just gonna sit there and observe quietly while everybody else just kind of does their own thing and socializes.
I am the ENFJ, which is the caregiver, and that's good in a work environment because I naturally want to bring out the best in everybody. Sometimes I'll even hold back on my personal opinions if they could make someone feel uncomfortable or keep them from being their best. And that is probably my main downside. I like to keep things super organized. My value system is external, and I thrive when I'm around people, which also helps out in the work environment. And I have a natural tendency to want to control my environment, which could also be a drawback because I can be a tad bit controlling and oppressive. ENFJs are thought to be the kindest and warmest of the personality types. Even though sometimes I might hold back on my opinions if they could influence other people from doing their best, I have very strong opinions and developed opinions. I don't understand unkindness, and I take it super, super personally.